Alright, welcome back to another lab video. This week we've got a 1999 Volvo S70 T5 for you. It's a turbo 5-cylinder. We're going to be working on this week. We're going to be doing some Evap diagnostics. We're going to be talking about the evaporative emission system and the hydrocarbon reduction system. So it's so nice. We're actually going to do all this outside here in the parking lot. No, I'm joking actually. Let's go get set up and get started. So here's a little bit of information about the fuel tank monitor system, or the Evap monitor system. So here's a diagram of the system there. You can see the canister there, the filler neck, all the stuff on top of the tank, and then here's your line that runs forward to the manifold. And it says here, the engine management system has the function of carrying out a quick check, which is what we see in the scan tool. That you can manually activate. Has to be above, well, the engine temperature has to be above 158 degrees, and it just checks to see that there is no leakage. And, you know, there's the parts that it's connected to.
Alright, so now we're under the Volvo, and here we have the whole Evap system. This is the Evap canister. This is the fuel filter right here. This is the atmospheric valve right over here. This line right here, this is your purge line, which goes up to the front of the engine. So this line right here, you can already see that it already has a crack here.
It's pretty well cracked up there. That runs to the atmospheric valve.
Yep. And so that runs it.
But it's on the canister side.
And then also over here, that's that same line that is just kind of hanging there. It's supposed to go to this.
It's supposed to go to that tube
right there.
Where does that tube go?
This tube that goes up to the filler neck. Yeah. This hose right here, up to the filler neck.
Into that little filter piece there on the side. Yes. Alright, so if you look right here, this valve, kind of hard to see, it's got two vacuum lines to it, one here and one here. It's got a connector on the end of it. Come on, focus. That is the purge valve. It's up front in the engine bay. So this line coming off of it right there runs down into a hard line. Focus, please. Into the back of the car, to the canister. And then this line, which comes off it right there, curves around, comes out over here and goes to this T, and then goes to the intake right at the manifold, and then goes to the intake before the turbo. So here you can see we're running the car's idling, and really the only two PIDs that have anything to do with Evap are purge valve, duty cycle, and where's it? Fuel tank pressure. Really there's not anything else. There's oxygen sensor data, vehicle speed, coolant temperature, that type of thing. But if we look at this, we can see the fuel tank pressure is very low because it's kind of cool out. It's about 55 degrees. And the purge valve duty cycle is at 0% because it's not purging. So now I'm going to try this quick test of fuel tank system. I believe it only works when it's running, so we got it running. Yeah, it says it. Quick check of the fuel tank system sealing. And we go all the way past this. Here's the parameters for it to work. Fuel trim must be active, so closed loop, idling, 0 miles an hour, not too far above sea level, above cold temperature, engine must be warm, pressure in fuel tank must be above that, which is negative. I believe we are above that. I just looked at it. So let's go ahead and hit OK. And it'll scan for DTCs, no DTCs, none are stored. Coolant should be above 158. It is. So let's go. Let's see. Start running. Let's start it. So let's start that. I heard something happen.
The RPMs dipped. And then it shot up.
Oh, it's running it right now. Well, no, it's not running. Fault found. Alright, so now since we did that, let's look at the codes we have, see if there's any codes. Aha, there you go. So it came up with a major leak from the leak diagnostic, which we know what that is. You've already seen it. It's that giant crack in the hose that needs to be fixed. So I also just found that you can manually duty cycle the purge valve. So if we do that, I don't know if you'll be able to hear. The RPM's picked up a little bit. I'm gonna guess that's because it's purging now, so it's getting a little bit more fuel. Let me see if I can do it again. Watch the tach. Yeah, see if you can get it on the tach real good. There it goes.
You can also hear it hissing.
Yeah, from back at the, I believe that's the leak back at the tank area. It's kind of neat. Unfortunately, whenever we try to manually run a monitor cycle, as you can see, the cycle, well, they call it quick test of the fuel tank system on here, but and you can see it's running that test. I've started it already. It always shows that these are not ready, and it shows that the fuel tank pressure does not change, and that is because there is quite a large fuel or evap leak back at the pressure holding side of the atmospheric valve.
Alright, so now we're looking at the gas cap over here. So this is going to be a vent cap. So these little holes right here, and there's some holes on the side. These vent out the pressure in the vacuum so that there's not excess pressure in your filler tank. You can also tell that that's a vent cap by coming over to this label where it says make sure you close the cap after refueling, because then a check engine light will come on.
We could try and show you with the vehicle running that the fuel tank is holding pressure and that there is a difference when you take the cap off to look at a pressure change on the scan tool, but unfortunately, since there's an oxygen leak, or there's an evap leak, we can't show you that. The pressure does not change when you take the cap off. So we'll have to show you that another way.
Alright, so now we're looking at fuel tank pressure. Right now, with no air in it, it's 0.011 psi. And we have Leo over here. He's going to shoot air into the fuel tank. He's not going to shoot a lot of it, so we don't damage the sensor or add too much air. So as he adds air, we can see the PSI goes up a little bit, and that shows that the sensor is working. And if he shoots a lot of air into it, you can see it spikes even more.
All right, let's calibrate the smoke machine for air real quick. So you want to hold that down real quick. So let's look at the flow. If I put it up to a 40 thousandths hole, jumps down to there. If I put it to a 20 thousandths hole, it's even lower. If I put it at the 10 thousandths, it's just barely above 0. And if I cover it up completely, it drops all the way down. All right, so right now we have the smoke machine hooked up on air to the evap line that goes back to the canister from the manifold, and if you hit it, we have all the flow. And we did just wait a couple of minutes. We tried manually closing the atmospheric valve at the back, and that flow does not drop at all, so we do have a leak somewhere.
All right, so you can already see there's some smoke coming out from right over here. If you want to hit the button, yeah,
Got smoke pouring out.
whole lot of smoke right there.
So that would be the first evap leak. There's not even smoke making it back to the tank to come out of the gas cap, because it's all coming out.
Right there.